Welcome to Microdose, the channel for lore and reviews of artists with under 1 million listeners on Spotify. Today, I'm bringing you Yves, a former K-pop idol who left the industry penniless, but with her dreams of becoming a singer intact. From debuting with the 12-member girl group Loona to leaving and re-debuting with K-indie label Paix Per Mil, Yves' soulful electronic music has always been a favorite among chronically online gays. Yves made her solo debut earlier this year with Loop, and is now back with her sophomore EP, I Did. Here, she leans squarely into an indie electronic sound to craft her most daring and confident project yet. In this video, we'll review I Did and the journey Yves took to get here. Okay nerds, let's get into the lore. Before Yves was Yves, she was Ha Soo-young, the youngest of two girls born in Busan, Korea. In November 2017, Yves was announced as the 10th member of Loona, the first project from the brand new entertainment agency Blockberry Creative. As is customary for Loona member reveals, Yves dropped her pre-debut single New, a soultronica banger that still goes hard today. Meanwhile, the Stan Loona movement, started by chronically online gays, was really picking up steam and becoming a cultural moment in and of itself. Loona YY by Y, the subunit Yves was part of, had even secured a collab with Grimes. Less than a year later in 2018, Loona officially debuted as a 12-member group with Hi Hi. They continued releasing EPs and albums, getting solid results for a group from a new agency. In June 2022, Loona dropped Flip That, which really did flip the world upside down. Not because the song made an impact, but because of everything happening behind the scenes. In November 2022, Blockberry Creative announced that they were removing Chu, Loona's most popular member, from the group. And now, I'll try to compress years of chaos into mere seconds. Basically, when Loona members signed with Blockberry, the terms were set up such that Blockberry would keep the majority of profits while the girls would go deeper and deeper in debt, never to receive a single penny. Chu, who was getting brand deals left and right, was the first member to realize this. She wanted to stay in Loona and amended her contract with fairer terms, but Blockberry retaliated and wouldn't stick to the new terms, so Chu filed an injunction to suspend her contract. The courts ruled that Blockberry's thievery was hella illegal, so Chu and all the other girls filed and won lawsuits to leave Loona. This was obviously an extremely challenging time for the girls, and it's hard to overstate how brave they are for making it through. It seemed like despite everything, the girls wanted to continue in the entertainment industry. One by one, the ex-members of Loona migrated to new groups under new companies. Chu went solo, 5 members joined Artemis, and 5 members joined Lucemble. But what about Yves? For a while, we knew she wanted to go solo, but nothing official had been shared. I was so thrilled when in March 2024, Yves announced that she had signed with Paix Per Mil, an indie label founded by one of my favorite producers, Milik. In an interview, Yves said her decision to go with Paix Per Mil ultimately came down to the music. She wanted to expand her musical spectrum, and felt she had good synergy with the label. A few months later, Yves dropped her debut single Loop, a slick and groovy banger with a rap feature from Lil Cherry and a slayerful choreo by Nain. The Loop EP as a whole was definitely indie music, but with strong mainstream appeal. Compared to Loop, the cover art Yves shared for her comeback EP, I Did, looked more understated and less commercial. Would Yves continue to play it safe with mainstream-friendly hits, or would she challenge her listeners by exploring new musical frontiers? Spoiler alert! It's a bit of both. Let's get into the EP and see what Yves' new era has to offer. Right before launching into the chorus, this song starts off with a voice saying, "Let's get dumb and break shit." Iconic, legendary, never been done before. Viola is a song about feeling unseen, underestimated, and numb. Yet there's no sadness or rage in Yves' voice. Instead, she opts for a quiet confidence. In the music video, we see Yves chilling in a metal box and burning mosquito repellents. The addictive refrain, "I just need some space," conveys how trapped she feels. By expectations, by the industry, maybe even by her unique position as an ex-girl group member in her late 20s trying to start fresh. The white men displayed on screens around Yves represent the suits who for too long have stifled her artistry. By the end of the video, Yves learns to embrace her journey and finds joy in doing what she loves most: singing, dancing, and serving. This synthy production with hyperpop influence delves into darker subjects, but always with a generous dose of optimism. Viola is a certified classic. I'm sorry, but they should have kept this song in the drafts. I do like the melody and production, But the lyrics, which are entirely in English, make no sense. Yves sings, "I just want to meet you. Who cares hashtagging you?" It genuinely sounds like they finished the melody first, then slapped together some English phrases that kinda rhyme and called it a day. Listen up, Yves. If the guys at the label hand you something like this, I'm gonna need you to send it back and tell them to do better. Stand up, babe. Gone Girl is a beautiful song about rebirth and honoring your true self. The gorgeous guitar motif and the lyrics work together to set the scene. You're going through the motions of life, but deep down you know you're unhappy and something's calling you to leave. One day, you find the courage to drive away without looking back. Maybe Yves is singing about a relationship that's run its course, or maybe she's singing about being trapped in a slave contract with a company that's sucking you dry. Either way, I'm seated. Baby, I feel so wrong. I wanna take it back and make it right. Tik Tok is a sweet little ditty, a very analog song on a synth-heavy EP. The only instruments we get are drums, bass, and electric guitar. Like Gone Girl, this song succeeds at transporting you to a very specific time and place. You wake up at dawn next to a lover with whom you fought the night before. While they sleep, you decide to go out and enjoy the day yourself. As you're wandering around town, you oscillate between wanting to ditch your lover because you're tired of their shit, and wanting to take them back because you can't help it. A part of you still loves them. Okay, maybe I made all that shit up, but the sheer visions this song conjures in me is unparalleled. Tik Tok almost feels like coffee shop music, and I mean that in the least derogatory and most complimentary way. The girls are obsessed with the instrumental outro of Dim and I'm Girls. The beginning of the song chugs along rather lethargically with vague lyrics and heavily auto-tuned vocals. Then, right when you're getting bored, the song transitions to a banging drumline with synths that sound like howling winds. What would have been a nothing burger suddenly takes flight and soars. Milik is the only producer on the track, and when he's on, you gotta let him cook. There's no question that Yves is evolving as an artist. Thematically and musically, I Did demonstrates more depth and maturity than her debut project Loop. While there are songs on I Did that absolutely slap, I do think Yves' music would benefit from more vocal expression. She sounds pretty and she's hitting the notes, but I could use a little more soul, a little more flavor. As a longtime follower of Yves, I'm so excited to see where this long and hard-won journey takes her. As per usual, let me know which other artists under 1 million listeners you want me to review next. Bye, nerds!